I don't know, I would be in trouble if I had to use that.
Okay,
All right,
3
it's
minutes again.
7 o'clock, and we're beginning our November 13th select board meeting. I had to look at the date because I didn't think it was November. I'm struggling with this. All right.
Is anybody here?
Mm-mm.
They'd be there if they were,
Mhm.
okay.
I'd like to start with the warrants, and I'd like to move to have payroll number 747 approved for $1,886.97. Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'd like to move to accept accounts payable number 48 for $83,088.86. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And
Just- yeah.
of that, 79, over 79,000 was for RSU bill. So that is paid off for another month. I'd like to make a motion that we approve minutes for November 6, 2023 select board meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Moving on quite briskly here. I would just like to give a quick update. Last week, we talked about the ramps and floats. We had Richard DeFries in here asking about not taking out the ramp and float this year. And so we had a conversation with Ted Christie, who said that as long as Richard checks the connections and whatnot, that he thought it was fine. He was going to trust Richard, since Richard lives right there and knows of that area of the water. So the decision is to not take out the ramp and float this year, but Richard will monitor it. All right. Are there any citizens' issues tonight? Seeing no citizens in the audience or on Zoom, I'm going to assume the answer is no. Our road commissioner is not here tonight. Do you know anything about a road update?
I did talk with Jim towards the end of the week. So he was still working to get the return of the radios and the garage door opener from G&D Cromwell. So we give them to our new contractor. And we talked a little bit about the FEMA meeting I attended last Wednesday. So this was a session organized by the Lincoln County Regional Planning Commission with the state lead for disaster funding. And she explained some of the programs. One of the programs, it looked like it would give us the opportunity to, if we could apply for a grant under their program, to both do the engineering design, detailed engineering design, and the construction, and do it, say, in 2 phases. We could write, instead of having to write 2 grants, we could write 1 grant. So we were encouraged, or I was encouraged by the FEMA representative to plan to do so, and talk about it a little bit with Jim. We're saying we absolutely would like to do, regardless of what happens with the Kelt proposal from last week with Ruth Indrick, that the Heel Pond causeway needs to be addressed. Jim has been concerned, he keeps monitoring that area because of where it started to fall apart.
Yep.
So
he's got people who live there taking care
well,
of
yeah,
monitoring that as well.
the neighbor and others who have to pass that road will let him know it's an issue, but he is concerned that we address that. So I told Jim that I would work with him and we'll see who else we can get to join in and doing some grant writing.
Is this
for FEMA.
the one that's due in January, did you say?
I believe that January 15th is the next milestone. So we have a little bit of time, but be nice. I'd like to do the research and look at some of the grants that have been written in the past.
It'd be wonderful if we could get that, and then also work with NOAA that would be wonderful, because that would save the town so much.
The state is getting, has definitely got like $2 million to spend. And then on top of that, there's other funds where we start getting the national pool, which we could get a piece of potentially. So sounds like it all depends on the number of other people who write grants.
Right, competition.
On the competition,
Yeah.
but
And
we
this
have
is
an
about-
option.
Mitigation work, is that the,
It's basically to prepare,
Right.
yeah, as opposed to repair.
right,
Also, I'd asked Jim, coming out of the meeting that Jim had with Jason Cates, and the FEMA and NEMA, the main emergency management folks, that we need to get some more information. Jim's gonna work on getting that. That was an estimate of the amount of gravel that was used by Jack Shaw to do the repairs
Right.
following the main run storm.
right.
So Jim is still working on that.
So. Anything on correspondence?
One item I think I did see, just as Jason Cates email suggests that maybe he should meet with the board.
Yep.
And we can talk then about the expectations from a emergency management perspective with some of the activities that we're working on. So that seems like another good time to have them come in and basically all get on the same page.
Yeah, I had just gotten the email and hadn't really looked at it, so I figured we would talk about it at our next board, at our next workshop. And confirm that and maybe set up a date for him to come in. So yeah, that connects nicely with FEMA. All right, admin items. There were, I've got 2 items. One of them was a question from Ashley, asking the board about coin usage. Evidently, in some towns, there's been an issue where people are paying taxes with change, lots of pennies and whatnot. And evidently, even in this town, in the past, somebody has paid in dollar bills. So she was asking that maybe we put together a warrant item before anything happens, so that there is a policy in place that says you cannot pay your taxes with change. So I'd like to see what the board thinks about that. Either of you 2 have any thoughts?
I thought it was odd. I can't imagine, I think it's a passive aggressive thing if people do that.
Oh, I agree,
for
but
sure.
people do it.
Oh, yeah, and I guess it's just a major inconvenience. I understand the person that paid in dollar bills was forced to sit while they counted it as punishment. I don't see any, downside to it. There's those coin machines now, right? That people can take their excess coins to and get money,
I think they charge a fee for that though.
I do.
They
I
do.
think so, yeah.
but
I think you can take it to the bank but
certain
have it all
banks,
rolled already,
Yeah.
yeah, if it's your bank. Jeff, your
I
thoughts?
don't. I think in the scheme of things, it's how often does it happen and how, I guess it's just if it happens, it's,
If it happens,
an
it's a real,
annoyance,
yeah, so it's almost like setting the policy before it happens.
yeah, but I would say it would be,
Yeah.
it would be a policy rather than going to the town meeting.
Mhm.
That
It's
would
just
be
a
our
policy.
policy for, yeah,
It's an office policy,
Yeah.
how we're gonna
Yes.
handle something like that. It wouldn't just be Ashley, it could be Dee Dee, whoever someone wants to pay something. So I suggest that we say, fine, if Ashley and Dee Dee and April wanna propose just a policy on how to handle that, should it happen, that we're not sweat it too badly. But I can understand the desire to be prepared should we have something that could be very disruptive
Yeah.
especially knowing that something similar has happened
Yeah.
even here, so. All right, I will talk to Ashley about that. Okay, next item, Gay couldn't be here tonight, and I actually would like to invite her in the new year to come and talk about some of the work that she's doing with the archival preservation work, but she's been working with a company, and there is money already set aside in the budget to have the preservation done. But they are now charging extra if you want the file, the 35, sort of like a 35 millimeter.
Like a microfilm?
Yeah. So she asked whether we could take 150 out of the admin budget, admin and operations budget, to get everything done at one time. If not, what would happen is we would just get the document, which is a hard copy that's been taken care of, but not the microfichy kind of thing. So again, I ask the rest of the board, your thoughts on it.
And this is something that we've been doing all along, or we just
Yep,
started this?
yeah, no.
Gay has been digitizing the town record books, the town clerk record books. So
So each year she tackles a chunk.
each year we've had it on the
Right.
town warrant to digitize and preserve the town record books.
So,
And this is a new company, or the company has now been taken by somebody else, and,
There's a price increase.
right,
right,
so
So since,
Yeah.
so it's,
it's just what we've done, I would
Yeah.
say, just rather than leave it hanging out there and not have it done, just to pay the 150 and get it done.
that's right. I would
That's what
agree.
I say.
Yeah.
It's a small
Yeah,
overdraft of that account that we can easily cover.
mhm,
And we have that also by the town meeting. We have, I think it's $15,000 a week and move money around. So.
yeah, but I don't think the 150 hopefully won't impact,
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
that gives us the right to do that.
right.
So we can cover the 150.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion that we have Gay, in fact, I think we have to sign this acceptance, that we will proceed with the co-file work, including getting the microfiche.
Mhm.
Do I have a second?
a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we'll sign that for her, and she's got,
It's just you to sign, isn't it?
I would say that it's, yeah, right here.
Do you have the hard copy minutes for us to initial?
Oh, yes, I do, sorry about that. I'm used to having a purple folder. Yeah, that's right, my purple folder is not here. Lisa. All right, I'll let Gay know, I'll put that in her box and let her know that that's available. Anything else on admin?
I just wanted to speak to, I started investigating the efficiency main information and went through the list today, and kind of, when they had a website, the company had a website, I would look them up and kind of see what areas they covered, and if it's got 17 companies on the list from Efficiency Maine, but, you know, some of them, anyway, long story short, I emailed a few, and I almost immediately got back from a company in South Portland, Energy Audit Limited. And I'm going to be speaking with a gentleman there tomorrow morning. And he just seemed to be, you know, seemed like he could help us. Some of the companies were, you could tell they dealt with big, big office buildings and, that kind of thing. So reading through their websites, I kind of got a sense of which ones would maybe more be amenable to working with us. Anyway, so I will be talking with him tomorrow morning, and then waiting to hear back from any of the other ones I reached out to. And then we'll just, kind of keep chipping away at it until hopefully we can get somebody here looking at our facilities for energy efficiency.
Well, he's got some experience working with historic buildings.
Yeah, I don't know, I'll ask him that, because I kind of just, explained to them, I'm sure he looked up Westport Island, and so I said, it's a small town, and we have three, basically, buildings.
What's it
So,
called? Energy audit,
yeah,
energy audit
limited.
limited, yeah, didn't get that last word.
Well, sounds good.
Little steps forward.
Yeah.
All right, and under legal business, we have been working on a junkyard application. We didn't have one as a town, and so we've been working on this with Gary Richardson, our CEO. And I'm not going to read everything to you here, but basically the application is to be completed by the applicant, which really gives him an opportunity to describe the junkyard, what they're storing, what they're going to do with those materials, how they're going to operate their junkyard as a business. So asking him, how are they going to deal with noise level, customers, those kinds of things. How the materials are going to be stored. Are they going to be visible from the road? And some of the key questions also is whether the junkyard is within 300 feet of places like abutters wells or water sources, aquifers, churches, public parks, or anything else. And this is an application. If you have a junkyard, you have to have a permit. So this is our first step to making sure that people who are interested in having junkyards, that there is an application process for them. So our next step is to, once we approve this, is to talk to the CEO and see how we implement the application. So I would like to make a motion that we accept this application.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
And do either of you who've also been working on this have anything to add to the application or?
Less than maybe more just logistics. So we're going to ask April to put it on the official stationery
Yep.
For the island. So it will be a formal document. And if people wish to have a copy of, see it, they could request a copy from April.
And I think it'll also be posted where you can get applications for anything, I think.
Makes good sense that be there as well.
Yeah,
That makes good sense.
But that will be just a little bit of time. Give us a week or so.
Mhm.
That'll be up there.
So we've taken that first step at least to have
Yep, yep.
an application approved.
Right. All right. I'll just give a very, very quick update. I have been in contact with the Maine Yankee folks. Dennis Dunbar a few weeks ago had mentioned that they may be interested in disposing of their property. We have not really had any discussion. We won't have any until December at the earliest. I'm well aware that any decisions that are made is for the town decision, but just to even start the conversation. So that hopefully we'll start that in early December.
Is that something that they just weren't available to talk before December, or?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Right. Okay.
Yeah, because they just got a hold of me finally
Oh, they
today.
did. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's been, yeah. So we just need to have some initial conversation. They're interested in knowing what the town would do for them. And
We'll give them a nice plaque.
yeah, yes, a nice plaque that says this was donated by Maine Yankee. No, we will have a good conversation about that, and, you know, one, I want to explain to them why we want the 1 acre that's with the, inside the 18 acres. To me, that's the key right now, and that, is again for the community recreation area that we're still, trying to talk to somebody to figure out how we can access that. Because if we can't access that, then we really don't need the 1 acre from Main Yankee. I mean, it can all just sit there. So, but that's even less accessible than the 18 acres, because it's right on the curb. So just as a follow-up, I wanted to share that process has started, and we'll keep you posted when we have more information. I don't have any other legal business, either of you two.
A couple of things, I think. Gay emailed Evan and I today to say that she'd come across a lot which is not showing up on our tax maps. So it's a valid lot, but so it's another one where the upload to CAI doesn't reflect splits that had taken place. In this case, it would have taken place a number of years ago, but it's never been on the map. So when Evan's in on Wednesday, it'll be part of what we need to do. Again, the plan is that Evan and I will kind of finalize a list of the splits that will change the tax maps. And this is now an error. And there's another one we had over off of the Wills Point Road that needs to get fixed. And there's another one that it's difficult if it relates to actually property the Dini transfer.
The
And just,
one with the pond across the street.
that's right, that's right. So there's a couple of little things there where hopefully they'll be able to fix the maps using the deeds. That's what they promised to be able to do.
They?
CAI,
Yeah, okay.
once we give them that information. What's the second thing?
So that happens as an oversight, or where is the disconnect between when there's a split and then not making it to the tax map?
We have to tell them that there's a new property. Yeah, coming from the split.
So they never done that a few years ago.
That's right. So someplace along the line, we didn't do so. And I know, I think the case of Wills Point property, there was over time 2 splits, and it got confused. So that they mapped the properties incorrectly. Now, that may have been not their fault, but up until recently, it was the policy of the select board or the board of assessors to provide mapping information to CAI. And when I talked to them about this, they said, no, we don't want that. We'd much rather work from the deed and not take direction from you guys.
Well, that kind of,
The deed is the
covers,
official,
that
yeah.
covers them.
Yep.
Well, it also, I think it indicates that they may be better at this than we have been.
Yeah.
So this
The
is,
deed spells out exactly where it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
well, you know, some of the deeds are not that easy to interpret and understand.
I know,
Yeah.
I see it monthly.
But they have the capability by having visibility to all the deeds to be able to figure that out and with the references. So it's like, I think this is something that I'm very happy that they will do for us.
Good.
And again, the objective is we want to have our online tax map system reflecting the current information and hopefully enable Ashley to not have to take phone calls about that stuff. There was something else, but now,
Was it dealing with deeds?
no, it was, I'm forgetting. It's not that significant. I think it was just related to that information.
All right. Well, we'll hear about it probably on, what is it, the last week in November? So with that,
So, yeah, just a reminder, so our next meeting is
is November
27th.
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 So
We are
2
not
weeks.
meeting next week. We also are not having our workshop next week,
We will have our workshop on Wednesday at 4.
this Wednesday. at
This
4
Wednesday at
o'clock.
4.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and no workshop Monday
no,
either.
no, nothing on Monday, nothing next week. Actually, we're gonna take Thanksgiving week off.
Yeah.
And hopefully, so will everybody else. And we don't have any big issues that we have to deal with. So with that, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
All right.